Ketsu. How are you doing today, buddy? We're gonna be reading Higurashi today. That's about all we're doing. So we're gonna spend about an hour and a half to read some Higu. Hopefully nothing traumatizing happens during that. But we'll see, we'll see. We're only at chapter 3 of like 13, so... You know. Hey,
Almost
East.
there.
Thank you for the resub, bro! Oh my god. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Damn, those guys can really cry. I know, man, I know. We're going out to get food. Alright, alright. How long is this game? How long is it? This chapter? I've heard it's about 14 to 17 hours. It's pretty long. it's pretty long. So, you know, we're getting through it. We're getting through it. We're still in the beginning. We're still in the beginning. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Alright then, I'm off. Look out for cars! Be back before dinner time. Today was the day of the barbecue party that was the Hinamizawa Fighters' victory celebration. Right! Because the whole baseball game happened last time. Of course, I haven't prepared myself. Skipped breakfast in order to stay hungry. Though with all the club members coming, it was pretty possible that there would be a contest based on how fast or how much you could eat. Ah, right. So he is prepared. Ren was already at her usual meeting place. Miyun arrived a few minutes later. Great! Let's get going. This old man skipped breakfast and is starving to death. I expect nothing less. Oh no, I expect nothing less. I too went without breakfast and am now in top physical condition. Wow, you too? Skipping breakfast is bad for your health. Rena made sure to eat something. Yeah, you're great, Rena. Breakfast is an important part of the day. I'm sure you'll surpass that unhealthy Mio and get yourself a nice, strong body and be all over the dirty mess. Jesus Christ. Heiichi is too much sometimes. Come on, let's just get to the edge. Oh, dirty magazines. I get a nice body, and maybe a prince on a white horse will come for Rena too? Definitely not happening. If you don't take responsibility for them, Kei-chan, then don't give Ren any silly ideas. She might start eating breakfast 3 times a day starting tomorrow. Yeah, I could see Rena doing that. Wait, who did this gluttonous princess think was going to come for her? Well, anyway, we're all nice and hungry. Let's go and treat ourselves to a big barbecue party. Yeah! Yeah! The venue for said barbecue was to be the Furude Shrine Grounds where Rika-chan lived. They held events and festivals there and barbecues too. It was the place that held all sorts of ceremonies in Hinamizawa. Come to think of it, there was supposed to be a big village festival coming up, wasn't there? Wasn't there? Just slyly alluding to it. What's an agashi or something? Psh, it's not like it'll be important, right? No. Something you could see from that up high was fairly superb, and the calm atmosphere particular to shrines was something fairly difficult to find in the city. We left our bicycles at the bottom of the shrine steps and broke into a mad dash up the stairs. When we arrived on the shrine grounds, the Hinamizawa fighters and their fathers had already gathered and begun setting up for the barbecue early. Of course, Satoko and Rika-chan were there as well. When they noticed our arrival, they waved to us. Oh, so you managed to not forget about this. Curses! If you hadn't come, there would have been that much more meat for me. How truly disappointing it is. You underestimate us, Satoko. Now that we've arrived, you don't think you'll be able to have even one bite of that fabulously marbled beef, do you? Remember when we ate our bento here? You and I had a fatal difference in reach. I'll be overwhelming you once again. What? I cannot allow that to happen by any means. Cry and shout all you want, you'll be watching us fill our mouths with beef. Don't worry though, we'll give the peppers and onions to you.
I'll give Satoko lots and lots of grilled squash too.
When Satoko heard the word squash, her complexion changed color. Took my overwhelming reach into account, she knew it wasn't just a threat, it could actually happen. I'll go tell the coach. I'll tell him you really love squash. If it's for you, I bet I'll get a whole mountain of specialty squash from all over Japan. Wow, good for you, Satoko. You'll have your pick of the squash. You can have squash from dawn till dusk, 3 meals a day. Oh my god.
What? Rena! Everyone's bullying me!
Satoko tried to leap into Rena's chest. Oh no, clearly given another round. Another second, Rena's mock punches would have have us piled onto the ground. So just before Satoko hit Rena, I grabbed her by the nape of the neck and pulled her back. Like a cat. Superb reaction with only seconds of foresight. At least, it was supposed to be. But for Rena, when I caught the leaping, crying Satoko, it looked like I was keeping her to myself. Bam, bam, bam! Oh my god. Hold on, I think my roommate's home. I need to go close my door. I don't want to freaking doing these voices. I don't want to be doing these voices with my door wide open. Give me a second. Give me 1 second to move myself. Yeah, extremely awkward. Alrighty, we back. God, doing these voices is like, you know, it's fine, right? But then someone normal comes up, and they hear you, and it's like, oh, it's so embarrassing.
Oh. No, Keiichi-kun. This is Rena's, okay? I'm taking her home. Wow, Rena-san. Beat up Mion-san and Rika like that too.
Whoa, hold on there. Yeah. Oh my god, bam, bam, bam.
Okay, now where could Rika be? There she is. Rena-san, over there. This way, Setsuko-chan. I'll take care of her right away. Then I'll bring you straight home. Meep. Meep. Satsuko, you're mean. Oh, Rika-chan's so cute too. Oh, I'm gonna take her home. Rika, it serves you right.
Setsuko laughed in a shrill voice at Rika-chan and Rena's unproductive game of tag while we watched them sprawled out on the ground. Are you alright, my bar-san? Oh, right, this guy. Nozaki-san? Coach came over and lent us a hand. Yeah, this is just how we communicate, that's all. Don't mind us. The way we communicate ends up leaving bruises on my face and I don't want any more to do with it. You never learn, do you? Laughed the coach loudly. Made us start to laugh too. Setsuko's laughter, Rika-chan's yelling, Ren's strange voice were kind of comfortable to hear. Wholesome. Very, very wholesome. As always. The adults here knew what they were doing, so the barbecue was already in short order. As the salad oil dripped down onto the plate with a hiss, there was a loud cheer. When the coach brought over a big plate with all meat on it, we all cheered again.
Wow, this meat looks amazing. Coach, you really did splurge on it.
I did make a promise. Can you tell how much all this weighs? Really did cost me a lot.
Of course it did. The third-rate meat wouldn't be enough of a reward for everything I did yesterday. Yeah. Setsuko-chan's definitely the guest of honor today.
Yeah, Satsuko was the one who hit that last home run after all. She might have caught the guy off guard, but the arc it flew was long and true.
Satoko is pretty athletic.
Not bad at all. She could be one of the best of our generation. Doesn't fall behind in physical ability even compared to me.
Maybe Satoko-chan has a big future in the world of sports. Oh ho 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 ho. Stop singing my praises, you're making me blush. Munch munch.
Satsuko, for whom excessive praise made her not notice the moderately grilled meat being stolen one after another, was just far too cute. My bar-san, this is heavy. Tomoto-kun and Okamura-kun were carrying something over to us. It was a huge barbecue plate. Whoa! The barbecue's protagonist has arrived! The plate was chock full of skewers with vegetables and meat on them. The grill, the burning hot meat juices made a shh noise as they drizzled off. Gulp! You need a lot of heat for cooking something on metal skewers, so they had grilled the whole plate at once. Yep, can't have a barbecue without some of these. And say that again. I'll help out, so I'll get it over there. Up we go!
Wow. Look, look! It's amazing!
Everyone greeted us with a cheer. Each person received a skewer with vegetables and big pieces of meat on it. Celebratory nipa. Of course, of course. They also received paper cups filled to the brim with juice. In my right hand were pounds of piping hot barbecue. In left was a cup of juice that I could chug down. This didn't make you want to dance, you weren't a man. Yes, of course, because meat make men dance. I can't hold back any longer. I'm gobbling it down. Gobble, 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 gobble. Not just yet, Kei-chan. We've got a little ceremony first. Ceremony? Can I have your attention, everyone? The coach with a cup of beer in his hand mounted the nearby beer cooler. This was supposed to be a victory celebration after all. We need an opening statement. Damn, I hope it ends soon. For every second this goes on, a little more of the food's freshness goes away. Oh! Satsuko stomped down on the back of my foot.
My word. Men your age are so greedy. Can you not wait a little more elegantly?
Is everything I'm thinking really showing on my face? Okay, is everyone listening? We won a huge game yesterday. It's become a hard battle after Amazing Picture came in. Thanks to an equally reliable saviors on our side, we scored a beautiful turnaround victory. Clap, 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 clap. Both my hands were full, so the adults and older brothers around us gave us a round of applause. This is to celebrate that victory. As promised, I got a ton of delicious meat for everyone. Eat as much as you want and use the energy on our next game. Then, after a few words of thanks to the fathers and brothers who helped with the barbecue, he held us in toast. Cheers! They say that when toasting, you would normally down the contents of your cup. But we were young! At the toast, all of us immediately began to dig into our skewers. After that, it got really lively, with everyone congratulating one another for things they did during the game. Like how some made the great catch, or how awesome someone looked when stealing a base. Of course, they congratulated me too, the savior who appeared to fight against the Koshian pitcher. Well, even what I did was thanks to Satsuko. Satsuko did have a plan, but you were the only one who could have won over Kameda like you did, Kei-chan. You did more than enough to deserve praise.
By the way, Keiichi-kun, you went to eat cake with Kameda-kun after that, didn't you? You looked like you were best friends.
Seeds of friendship sprouting between male rivals, something like that.
That's sort of, well, it's...
I violently brushed through Rena's hair as she turned red in the face. For some reason, at the mention of friendship between males, dispersing her pleasant-seeming ideas. Of course. Now then, where's the hero, or rather, the heroine, Satsuko? Oh, there she is. Satsuko was with Rika-chan in the middle of bragging her heart out about the home run yesterday. And her teammates spared no compliment for her, since even though he was going easy on her, the fact that she hit a throw from Koshian player was something else. Satsuko was more than loquacious than usual. Loquacious? God, sometimes some of the words that they use. It's like heckin' crazy. It seems she was in a great mood. She was flying so high that I thought for a moment about getting a word to tease her. But she was the leading actress today, so I decided not to bully her at all. I watched Satoko going at things as lively as usual under the sun. It struck me that it didn't quite line up with the pleasant time I'd spent with her. Locomotive? I'm always saying that. Oh, sure you are. Sure you are. But both of those were the real Satoko. I didn't care which it was, her smiling happy or making a big lively fuss about like this. Just as long as she would keep smiling like this forever. Foreshadowing! It looks like she's having fun. Quite a lot of it. Coach had approached me from behind before I realized it. He gazed at Satoko from afar, like I had been doing. He addressed me. I could tell he was talking about her. Doesn't it just cleanse your soul to see Satoko-chan smiling? He smiled, refreshed, searching for confirmation. I felt a little embarrassed to admit, so against my better judgment, I played it off. Really? I don't think your smile could cleanse so much as a plate. Oh my gosh. I'm sure Satoko-chan would be mad if she heard that. But that part of her is very cute too. Leaving her cuteness aside, I could understand him thinking Satoko getting angry for being teased would be funny. Mr. Urie, was it? That's right. Everyone else calls me Coach, though. I'd be very happy if you called me Coach as well, my bar-san. He said that, Coach Urie smiled, blushing a little. Coach, he seemed to like Satoko a lot. And then they lived happily ever after, and Satoko became a pro baseball player. Wait, don't you need to be... No, you don't need to be tall to be a baseball player. You could just run real fast, which I'm pretty sure that she's good at. Yes, I do like her. I love her, in fact. When she gets older, I'm thinking of asking her to marry me. Oh, God. What? This guy really says some insane stuff, doesn't he? Oh, yeah, definitely sus. That's more than sus. That's just highly inappropriate. After being astonished by this, I heard to put my mind back in order. I heard that this coach guy was the kind of person who said crazy things out of nowhere. According to Mio, and if I took everything he said seriously, I physically wouldn't be able to take it. So we have to play it off as a joke, because if we took it seriously, he would be in so much trouble. I was able to ignore that part of him. He seemed like he'd be a really funny guy. My Abara-san. Did that surprise you? Actually, wouldn't it be better to be short if you played baseball? Wait, really? I don't think so. Would it? My Abara-san, did that surprise you? Could it be you're going after Satoko-chan yourself? That would bother me then. I've been going after her for decades now, you know? Decades? She's like 7, bro. Coach, Satoko isn't even alive for much more than a decade. Coach gave a dry grin and laughed. Was this how I should be doing it? I must have somehow mastered the art of responding to this coach guy. After that, I received many words of praise for my actions, almost too many. As that conversation was happening, leaving aside the controversial statements this coach person would spout suddenly, I learned he was very composed and not a bad guy by any stretch. Someone call Oishi-san. I know, we haven't seen Oishi-san at all in this run yet. I think Satoko deserved more praise for that crazy home run she got. I honestly didn't think she had it in her. Satoko-chan's older brother was more the quiet bookworm type. She probably inherited the exact opposite skill set. Her brother? Right, he meant Satoshi. One who left Satoko and ran away from home, Satoko's Nini. Satoshi Hojo. You not know about him? Satoko-chan's older brother, I mean. His name is Satoshi Hojo-kun. He played with the Higurashi fighters too. I wanted him to play him a lot more, but then he transferred. Huh, I see. So he transferred. Yeah, maybe that was a little more considerate than saying he ran away. Now that he mentioned it, I think it was Rena. I think she mentioned that Satoshi transferred too. I didn't know the details of him having run away from home at that time. I didn't pay much attention to it, but only her brother transferred? That's sort of unusual. Everyone having fun was far away, and their cheerful voices distant. The force of the cicadas separated us from them, giving me a sense of distance. At first, I thought my own voice was too soft for even me to hear, but for a really long time, Coach didn't respond to my words. So at this point, I began to wonder if I'd said something I shouldn't have. It was when I began to feel impatient, Coach finally spoke. Something unfortunately happened. Few things, actually. After informing me what he was about to say was a secret, Coach began to talk, a little at a time. Aw, here we go! Let's go! It's been 3 years already. Right around this time of year, I think. Satoko-chan's parents were in an accident. An accident? Yes. At a public park they visited while on vacation, they fell from a viewing platform. It was supposed to be just a little time away from the house with the family. They went for a walk on a path through nature park after it rained. For a little viewing platform that looked like it had a good view. That was the stage on which the tragedy was set. Metal fixtures in the viewing platform fence had deteriorated from time. With all the rain they had just gotten, they might have loosened somewhat. Right before Satoko's eyes, both the fence and her parents fell. There was a river some 10 meters below. The water levels were high due to the rain, and apparently very muddy. Yes, sad emoji. And her parents? Coach gave a thin and melancholic smile and touched a paper cup to his lips. Without saying anything, I knew how unfortunate this accident was, and how Satoko's parents had left on an eternal vacation. An eternal vacation? I think you could word it a little better than that, Keiichi. Then Satoko is, well, so focused on being careful with my words that I lost what I was going to say. Single word, orphaned. I knew how little consideration it showed and how much it would hurt Satoko without having to say it aloud. Come to think of it, Satoko lived with Rika-chan. At least that's what I thought I heard from others. Wait, Rika-chan, her father died from illness too, and her mother soon after. I felt like I'd heard she was living by herself. Yes, she's living with Furude-san right now. They've probably lived many discouraging days without any parents, but they've gotten by by helping each other. This is so sad. Going on living without any protection of parents is very difficult for kids that age, I think. Maibara-san, you can probably understand that as well. I only survived because I rely on my parents, so the only reply I could give was to nod. Furude-san is particularly beloved by the older people in the village. As long as she's here, she won't want for much. Come to think of it, you're right. Rika-chan kind of seems like the village mascot sometimes. I don't think she'd have a hard time living here. Rika-chan could just go meep just once and get 2 or 3 croquettes from a vendor. Croquettes. Yes. Yeah, Nipa. I felt like if she asked for help, everyone in the village would. That only applies to Furude-san in particular. Satsuko-chan doesn't have it the same way. Rika-chan being so spoiled was just an exception. Not thinking about it normally, living on your own as a child should be fraught with difficulty. It wasn't then very difficult to imagine how much suffering Satoko had to go through just to live. It wasn't very difficult to imagine. Was I really thinking that? No, I was only thinking the words. I couldn't imagine it in the slightest. How was I supposed to imagine it when I saw that annoying smile of hers? There's no way I could. I found out she was living apart from her brother, and I just kind of vaguely thought that it was rather unfortunate. I mean, Satoko was smiling so energetically every single day. Higurashi? Never played this but watched the anime. Both of the animes. Ah, so you kind of know what's going on. The VN is a lot more detailed. A lot more detailed. Considering these, like, 17 hours of gameplay was shredded down to 4 episodes. So, you know. Was I thinking that her smiling meant she wasn't hurt? That she didn't feel lonely? When she found out my parents were coming home the other night, Satoko said, "A family sitting around a dinner table is the most fun way to enjoy a meal of all." Those words held a lot more weight now. I've seriously considered adopting her. Huh, adoption? It's a secret. After warning me, Coach put his index finger to his lips. I've lived a really steady life all these years. I own property and I have credit. Marriage is the only thing I never got around to. Do not even think about it. Okay, idiot? Don't even think about it. By law, obviously, a single individual can adopt a child. Oh, so I can't make Satoko-chan my adopted daughter. What a shame. Didn't take long for my plan to get her to call me Papa to hit a setback. The guy spout some crazy stuff. First, it was only half listening. Midway through, I realized how rude that was. This coach person seriously only wished for one girl, Satoko, to be happy. That was neither crazy nor it was nonsense. Is that a thing? You have to be married to adopt? Apparently? I mean, this takes place in 1980 something or 1960 something. I always forget the year this takes place in. But maybe it was then. Yeah, someone called Chris Hansen. Those were his true feelings. Satoko-chan's current lifestyle is probably not a very happy one, but you know, I want to make it easier for her, even if it's only a little. 1984, yeah. Wait, no. No. That's the meme, isn't it? 1984 is the meme, right? I don't know if that's the I don't know. Someone look it up. I can't do much for her, but share my leftover food and errands she's not strong enough to do. You're wrong. Satsuko's happy. Huh? Coach showed surprise at my having declared that. There's so many people around her that all really want her to be happy. She can't possibly feel otherwise. Oh, Keiichi, you're so stupid. You're so stupid, child. Just because she has a happy, people around her doesn't mean she's happy. Spoke with a serious expression quietly, but firmly, all the same. My approval of his feelings and my gratitude at Satoko's Nini. You're not her Nini, but okay. Thank you. Still, keep this a secret from Satsuko-chan, okay? If she knew I wanted to adopt her, she'd probably get mad and call me a pervert for wanting me to call her Papa. Did Keiichi just say that? I know, can you believe that? I wonder. Satsuko may have been somewhat childish, but she was still able to empathize with people. She'd call him that. I knew it. As if my feelings had gotten across, Coach grinned satisfied and turned his gaze to the hustle and bustle before us. His main character rating went down a lot. He fell off. I know, dude, he says some whack stuff sometimes. Legit. Her parents and her older brother. She lost her family and had no relatives. Was huddled up with Rika-chan, who was in the same situation. Let's go, Hojo. Wouldn't it be odd for her to look at her life with despair, but she didn't seem to feel that way. She lived energetically with a smile. I wanted her to keep her smiling forever. It was a naive wish, and yet it was one that he couldn't help hoping for. So the words that I spoke were the same. What a coincidence. I think the same way. Oh, you too, my Barakun? That makes us friends. Let's make a promise. A promise? A very simple one. Coach said this, giving me a grin. That we will never ever make her cry. It was short and to the point. Yeah, promise too. Coach nodded happily. Exchanged no more words after that. Yeah, sure, she mistook. Shut up. One line he almost felt the same rating as Yuki from Mirai Nikki. Aw, dude. Mirai Nikki. That show is kind of a mess, IMO. Yeah, that's a bit far. We just sat there comfortably gazing at Satsuko and everyone else having a good time. She certainly lost family, but there were people watching over her. How reassuring must have that have been. Just hypothetically, if you did adopt Satsuko, what would you do? That's a tough one. Coach gave a wry, happy smile, then exaggeratedly tilted his head in contemplation. Well, first I would get her to call me master, then re-educate her in the ways of maidservant. Oh, God, ADA. Why does this always happen? Huh? What? How does this guy always pick the craziest time to say the craziest things? My Barakun? Well, I haven't said anything yet. Oh, what are you talking about? I heard it loud and clear. Oh, that's right. I clearly said I would put Satsuko on a wooden bondage horse and make her my meat slave. Oh, Shion. Ah, that sounds nice. Satsuko-chan on a wooden horse. Please leave the item using play for after she's acquired the proper knowledge. It would be very dangerous to go in with the wrong idea. I get it. They do always write labels on only to use things for their intended purpose, after all. That's right. Kei-chan, you do understand. Then with that, it's time for... My hand shot out and grabbed Shion, smiling, waving, and about to leave by the nape of her neck. Hey, wait right there. Don't just show up out of nowhere and start saying crazy stuff. Speaking of saying crazy stuff, I thought Satoko love talk you were having with the coach was pretty crazy too. I can perform a reenactment of the adoption bit. Want to see? Ugh, you've been hiding ever since then. Kei-chan, you can't beat my sister. You're 100 years too early to challenge me. Kukuku. This was Shion Sonozaki, the younger of the Sonozaki twins. Though she hadn't a scrap of reserved quality you'd expect from a little sister, she was a villain no better than her older sister Mion. We met the other day in town and I dug myself into a hole in when I missed her curse for Mion. Unlike Mion, Shion said she was living in Okonomiya, so I thought we'd never see each other again, but to think we actually would. My frankly displeased expression didn't change a bit either. It's supposed to be what people mean when they say something is like water off a duck's back. Shion, you came. I was so disappointed because I thought you wouldn't make it. Well, I couldn't think of anything else to do, really. I figured I'd come and tease you a little. Coach, why do you need to call Shion to our victory celebration? How did she contribute to our team's win? Well, you see, I'm actually the manager of the HEWWO fighters. The manager? No way, then why weren't you at the game yesterday? It's because I'm like a ghost manager. She seemed to think I'd forgiven her if she stuck her tongue out and smiled. She wasn't sorry at all. The match wasn't nearly as pretty without you there. I won't tell you to come to practices, but couldn't you at least come to the games to root for us like you used to? Hey, thanks for the follow, Gasai! Gasai. That's the pink girl in Mirai Nikki, right? I'll think about it. Maybe if Kei-chan joins the HEWWO fighters. I can't get into a cheering mood when there's no good-looking guys on the team. Oh, I feel that. You just realized that. I had an inkling that could be the case, but huh? Did Shion just smoothly say something absurd? Yeah, she just called you attractive. Shion! You little, where did you come from? Suddenly Mion came rushing over, lashed onto my shoulders, and pulled me towards her.
Ah, it's Mi-chan's little sister. Hello, Shi-chan. Hello, Ren-san. I'm honored you remember my name. We only met once.
And you just dissed me, Nikki, in front of you. I know, I can't help my opinion, bro. I gotta be honest. Mirai Nikki, not for me. Not for me. Not for Miki. Why are all the hands so big? The meat claws. I know, the meat claws. The flesh mittens. Hello, Ren-san. I'm honored you remember my name. We only met once.
Oh, not at all. Thanks for remembering Ren's name, too.
Got the stupid greetings. You're not allowed to solicit Kei-chan. He's the hope of our club. Don't pull him out and put him in baseball like he's some kind of plant. Mion gave a low growl as she grabbed my arm. She looked like a little girl desperately clinging to her toy. Mirai Nikki was the second anime I watched. Wow. I remember one of my friends forced me to watch Mirai Nikki because he was like, you gotta watch this show, it's amazing, it's so cool. And then I watched it and I was kind of disappointed. I guess it just really wasn't my thing, you know? Different strokes for different folks. Ha 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 ha. Speaking of haha.
Yeah, Keiichi-kun is the star of our rookie club. We could never trade him away.
Rena's smile hid a nonchalant bloodthirst. She was blocking Shion's way, ready to unleash an ultimate attack if she got within 2 meters of me. I felt like I was gonna turn into a bloody battle. That's too bad. We'll leave the negotiations for another time. You don't have the right to negotiate? Coach, why'd you call Shion here too? She's a ghost member. She's been slacking off for the past year. I just thought it would be even more fun if Shion-chan was here. Yep, it definitely worked. That's what he had planned for all along. Mission accomplished. Hey, Kei-chan, come over here. We're all playing a game. With strings attached, of course. Chi-chan, how about you?
It was so simple and it'll be fun.
Should I? I'll just join. I'll just win if I join after all. I don't want to ruin my sister's presidential image. Mio, now irritated, turned around with a glare. What is it, my sister? Should I join to make this a battle of the siblings? For your sake, I don't think we should, but if you want to... Bleh! I won't let you play, Shion. We're leaving you out. Bleh. Whoa, Mio just avoided a direct confrontation. Seemed like the twins were completely incompatible with each other. Yeah, why does Mio always have a gun on her? Because she's based. Exactly. East knows.
You won't let her play? I was looking forward to seeing you two face off.
I hate Shion. I'm bad against her. Angry Mio dragged me away. Slide.
Do your best. I'll be rooting for you.
Go for it, Kei-chan. Yay! Shion waved her hands at us, reveling in the bliss of teasing Mion. Alright. Club activities had begun, which meant I needed to clear my mind. What was today's battle? Today's punishment game? Take anything on?
Okay, Keiichi-san. You should prepare yourself. We're going all out today.
Great, bring it on. Satsuko or not, I'll crush you all mercilessly.
Rena will profit from your battle and fish herself up a win. Then I will get all the manta rays fish first and ride them to victory. Oh, Rika-chan is flat like a manta ray.
Oh, shut up.
I want to take you home.
Okay, everyone. We'll have a lot of people today, so let's play something easy and simple. Today's game is... What is it? No way are they skipping through the game. They never skip through the games. They never skip through the games. Are they actually skipping through the game right now? Everyone who lost the game dropped out and had to help clean up after the barbecue. They literally skipped the game. They've never done that before. What the heck? Russian roulette. I know. Yeah, something easy and simple. Rena, no kidnapping cute people. Yeah, Rena always kidnaps. That's her thing, you know? Yeah, swipe but no swiping. She laughed more uproariously than anyone I'd ever heard when she saw my loser face. Okay, was my getting bombed out of the game really that funny? Man, oh man, Kei-chan's face! He was like, how can you still call yourselves human? Damn it! I had it all worked out when I brought up the scissors. If only Satoko and Rika-chan hadn't betrayed me. It was going great until we manipulated a united front. Maintained. But Satoko had been quicker to betray me than I her. She was just a bit tiny better than me. I warned you about trusting Satoko. Tomita and Okamura-kun were unanimously wearing I told you so faces. Incidentally, those two were victims of Satsuko's traps pretty well early on as well. Damn, I was just trying to do well enough to make up for you two. Once again, for the showdown, it didn't matter. Maybe this meant I still couldn't match up to the other members yet. You're going to have the lowest ranked member of the club to play punishment game, weren't you? Jun remarked, as though forcing me to recall something I tried to forget even for a moment. Is that right? Come to think of it, Maibara-san, when you came up with the punishment game with the president, you looked really heated up. What on earth did you decide on? Earlier, Mion told me to get my Angel Warrior uniform ready. Does that have anything to do with it? He told me to get the biggest size I could find? Oh no. Tomotaka and Okamura-kun were giving me these complex, indescribable looks, mixing empathy, pity, and desire to see something scary all at once. All she could do now was laugh. Strangely enough, the more she laughed, the more I felt like it was actually funny. I lost. Oh my. Maibara-san, what's the matter? You're smiling, crying, and howling.
It's okay, he's just pretending not to like it.
He can't hide his excitement at the opportunity to gain valuable experience using the punishment game as an excuse.
Right?
What do you mean, valuable experience? I held my head in my hands in agony. My state of mind could be summed up with a 3-letter word. It was... sob. Sob. Coach gently put his hands on my shoulders. Is he comforting me? My Bara-san, times you must accept hardship. You should imagine that you're a domesticated maid. Of course he would say that. See, don't sick things seem kind of funny now.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
Red in the face and indulging in his imagination, still holding my shoulders, Coach said, "Oh, master," and started twirling around like a ballerina. I had to wonder what kind of wordy associations he had going on in his head. At the very least, it was much different than what was in mine. First thing that comes into my head when I think domestication certainly isn't maids. Tomito-kun, Okumura-kun. Coach is pretty funny. Surprised he can even be a coach. Yeah, me too. Tomito-kun and Okumura-kun exchanged glances and answered with dry smiles. Then they added that he was a really nice person most of the time. Just something you'd normally say about a person like that. Coach's questionable revolution slowed to a stop, and then his expression returned to a clear, calm one, almost like he was almost making what just happened seem like an illusion. He can switch gears way too fast. Let us start cleaning up. My Bara-san, you seem quite strong. Could you bring the plates over to the wash bins and clean them? Right on it. I hoisted the dirty barbecue plates, each with slimy oil clinging to it, and looked for the wash bins. Basins, not bins, basins. Ugh, these are heavy. Where's the wash basins? Over there? Figuring I could make it before my arms gave out, I headed towards it at a trot. A lot of the adults who had been helping out were using the wash basins, so I gave up and looked for a different set. I asked them, and they told me there were more right by the assembly hall, so I decided to head that way. Rather than multiple basins, there was just one faucet there. Initially thought it would be too small to wash plates as big as these, but it would probably still be faster than waiting for a faucet to open back up there. I returned the faucet and water much nicer looking than it gushed forth. I put a plate under the faucet and scrubbed it with my hand to try to rub it clean. It didn't go very well. Here you go. Sponge and dish soap. Can't wash them with just water. It was Shion. She threw a brand new sponge and container filled with cleaner to me. Yeah, with your hand. He tried. Oh, thanks.
You should have just put them by the basins and left it to the grown-ups. You're always doing the right thing.
I had this feeling that it wasn't quite a compliment. I answered it with a forced smile. I was surprised to learn that you're a manager for HEWWO Fighters. I thought you didn't do stuff like that because it's too much of a bother.
Yes, it is quite a bother. That's why I've stopped showing up entirely.
Didn't Coach say he wanted you to come back? Should pay you a visit once in a while.
If I feel like it.
Oh, heck. I think that's the first time I actually accidentally skipped something.
Yeah, if I feel like it, I guess.
Shion made it sound like the end of the world could happen before she felt like it. What else should he have used? His face? A sponge, yeah. Whoops. I couldn't keep washing the dishes while preoccupied with conversation, so I decided to take my task seriously. Shion neither offered to help nor got in my way. She just quietly watched the water flowing from the faucet.
Oh, right, I heard something. You were the star player in yesterday's game, weren't you?
Got to go hit the home run, so I think she was the real star player. I didn't know she had those kinds of reflexes. Surprised me.
She's totally different from Satoshi-kun. There's not much doubt in all the athletic ability in the family went to her.
Shion smiled as she spoke, and her eyes looking at something far away, betraying her reminiscence. Satoshi-kun?
Satoko Hojo's older brother? You know, Satoshi Hojo-kun. Oh, right. You just moved here this year, didn't you, Kei-chan? You wouldn't have ever met him.
I was a little surprised that Shion knew about Satoshi.
Never met him, but I know a little.
Never met him, but I know a little. After their parents passed away, he transferred to a different school, right? I avoided saying that he ran away from home and used a slightly more vague words than that everyone else did.
Transferred? Who said anything like that?
I didn't realize that Shion's tone had changed slightly. Well, I mean, who was it then? Yeah, I heard it was from someone. That he transferred. Who? You said that because you asked someone, right? Who did I ask? I don't really remember. Even so, he transferred, so that's it, right? Not like there's a problem with it. There's one. Does that mean there's a record of his transfer? To another school? And that someone saw it? Or heard about it? Around that time, I noticed how awfully caught up on this Shion was. But also how startlingly dangerous her eyes began to look. Shion? What's up? You look really serious. That Shion seemed to realize the expression she was making. Took a deep breath, pretended to fix her hair, and went back to her composed expression from before. I'm sorry. But Kei-chan, you don't know much about Satoshi-kun, so please don't say he transferred or anything like that. I'm serious. Please. I realized I must have said something I shouldn't have. I wasn't immediately sure of what I could apologize for, so I just said this one safe word for now. Sorry. I just sort of heard he transferred and believed it. Was it actually something else? It was, of course, preceded by his parents. He had left his sister and run away. But I wanted to try avoid using the words run away, so I pretended not to know. On seeing my flustered reply, she didn't realize she was intimidating me and lowered her voice. I'm sorry. I'm not blaming you for anything, Kei-chan. I was just being a little harsh. I apologize. I didn't really mind. That was a fib. I was actually a little scared, even. Was there something wrong with saying he ran away? Was there some sort of misunderstanding in saying that he transferred? Before I could ask her, she turned on her heel to leave. Hey, Shion. Right, good luck with those. Looks like your plate is last. That's the last one you need to wash. Her final remark reminded me of the dishes I had so easily forgotten about. So immersed in conversation were we that I got pretty late. Turned the faucet again to get the water flowing faster. Whoosh! I finally scrubbed the plate. When I turned back around, Shion was no longer there. By the time I'd finished washing the plates, most of the other things had been cleaned up. The air had cooled off before I realized it, and the heat had been stuck with us all day dispersed. A nice breeze started to flow. Okay, everyone, can I have your attention? Coach got everyone together to make his closing remarks. And with that, another fun day drew to its close. In the end, Mion ended up the game with a magnificent victory. Satsuko and Riki-chan, who had labored so hard to betray me, had fallen into this huge trap afterwards, leaving them frustrated about more than a few things. People who betray others will one day be betrayed themselves. Never been more true, huh?
You're not the one I wanted to hear that from, Keiji-san. Rena didn't fall for anyone's tricks. That's how I got second. Rena doesn't buy into lies very easily. She has a sharp wit.
I'm surprised. She seemed like she would fall for the first lie to come her way. Funny you should say that, Kei-chan. You desired to prey upon others, and right away you became the prey instead. Make sure you don't fall for those dumb schemes that promise higher returns the more friends you rope in, right? Alright, okay? Rena can see through the lies of the Jedi. Give her a drink, bartender. Thank you, Phantom. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Yeah. I'll try harder. Sub. Even good friends lay traps mercilessly and betray everyone in the slight when they get into a serious enough game. But despite that, once it's over, they can feel refreshed and laugh together. It reminded me of how we were all such great friends.
Anyways, I'm looking forward to Keiji-san's punishment game. However, can you really implement such a thing? I would think the store manager would have a thing or two to say about it, no?
I thought you would need a drink by now. I did. Thank you. I really did.
I wonder. Maybe Keiji-kun will be really cute. I kind of want to see. Oh. I am on the edge of my seat. I'll trip him up and make him wipe the floor.
That would be great. Why couldn't I win now of all times? Whenever I think I'll definitely win today, that I'll make someone else play punishment game, I lose. Is it not enough? Do I not believe hard enough in victory? Ugh.
Oh ho ho. The wailing of the loser tastes like sweet honey.
How sad, how sad. Gosh dang it, why do I keep skidding? Got sticky fingers.
Pat, pat, pat. This is how you get stronger, Keiji-kun. It's like I'm looking at Mi-chan from last year.
Oh? Mi-chan from last year? What, did she always lose and moan about it in the past? Very interesting. I didn't know our undefeated President Mion was once like that. No need to talk about that. Mion hastily covered Rena's mouth. Everyone watching burst out laughing. Finally, Riki-chan pulled on Satoko's sleeve.
Okay, we should be going soon. Oh yes, we must go shopping for dinner, mustn't we?
I wanted to keep talking like this forever, but it was getting late. Split up with Satoko and Riki-chan and decided to get our way home. Alright, bye! See you tomorrow at school! Everyone waved to each other and split up for the short time between now and tomorrow.
Okay, let's go!
We began walking down the tall staircase leading from the shrine grounds. As the sun started to set, the afternoon's heat began to disappear as though it were never there. Just listening to the chorus of the Higurashi was just enough to make me forget how hot it had been today. Come to think of it, it's still June, huh? We didn't have a rainy season at all this year. Like all of a sudden it's just summer, you know? Now that I thought about it, she was right. It was June, the season of long rain, of hydrangeas and snails. I haven't seen a real rainy season since transferring here. According to the weather forecast, it's supposed to get more rainy during the first part of the week. They were warning people about heavy showers. I hope it doesn't run into Watanagashi.
That's right. The rainy season's supposed to be rainy. Rena likes all the rain in the rainy season.
What? So much rain just makes me depressed. Hey, Kei-chan. Huh? I was a little spaced out, so I was late in answering Mion. I was thinking back to my conversation with her sister. When I said that Satoshi transferred, Shion clearly got angry. He was mad at me for saying something so careless. I mean, it may have been a vague way of skirting around the fact that he ran away from home, but I don't think it was so bad that Shion would need to feel mad about it. I wasn't really satisfied with it. I felt like a child, completely ignorant of what I was being scolded for. So my thoughts spilled out of my mouth in a very direct fashion. Satoko had a brother, right? Named Satoshi, I think. What? As soon as I said the name Satoshi, Rena and Mion both lost their relaxed, comfortable mood and made strange expressions. Should I have avoided talking about this? That's the way what they made me think. I've already said it, so that's that. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't interested. What happened to Satoshi again? Did he move away? That was such a transparent way of putting it, but my desire to know everything, I feigned ignorance. Mion turned around and looked to Rena for assistance. Rena looked between us, then quietly and softly spoke. Wait, did we not tell you? He transferred out. When I said those words to Shion, she got upset, so I answered her with the same words Shion had given me. Transferred? Who told you something like that? Oh, heck. Huh? I had only intended to borrow Shion's words, but I said the exact same way she had, right down to the thorns in my voice. When I realized what I had done, I immediately tried to soften my remark. If we really transferred, there'd be records of his school and stuff, right? But is there anything like that? Mion and Rena, their eyes grew wide. They were at a loss for words. I started to feel like I was doing something really bad. I thought they were only hiding the fact that Satoko's older brother ran away out of consideration for her. I'm not trying to blame you for anything, okay? I just wanted to ask what happened to Satoshi, that's all. I wasn't trying to blame them. The fact that I had to remind them even looked like I was tormenting them with an impossible question. No, maybe I was actually bullying them. Maybe I had lashed out at them in retaliation for Shion getting mad at me. This whole day had been so much fun, but now... Why did I go and say something that made all of that meaningless? I couldn't help but regret my own careless curiosity. That's enough, let's drop it for now. As I was about to say that, Mion spoke up. Well, it's not like we were hiding it or lying. Hope you understand, that's not what we were trying to do. Mion's tone conveyed her genuine awkwardness. It sounded like excuses of a child who'd been presented with evidence of her own mischief. Satoshi, well, he didn't transfer schools, Mion said, resigning herself. But I felt bad for pushing her to say that. So, okay, Mion. Let's stop talking about Satoshi. Sorry for teasing you. I want to apologize, but right before that...
He won't come back.
What? What? Unlike Mion's stammered reply, Rena was extremely clear and resolute. He won't come back? What?
He won't come back home ever since that day.
He won't come back. That was a very strange way of putting it. Normally you would say he hasn't come back yet. At least I thought you'd only say it like Rena did if he wasn't capable of coming back. You wouldn't say it like that when talking about someone who ran away from home. What do you mean he won't come back? Where did Satoshi go?
Don't know.
Rena's word choice felt cold, very cold to me. It was so cold that I couldn't muster a response right away. Well, she's right. After that day, Satoshi hasn't returned home. We had noticed a deadlock between us and hurriedly followed up on what Rena had said. Well, that is, everyone in the village searched for him, and we even got the police to help us look. And well, they started thinking that maybe he ran away. I started thinking maybe he ran away. When running away from home, I thought you were supposed to leave a note or something. When Satoshi ran away, he would probably have left some kind of letter apologizing to Satoko. That's just what I figured, but from the way Mion was talking, it seemed a little different than just running away from home. The police did an investigation. Satoshi had been earning money at a part-time job and had put some aside. They learned that on the day he vanished, he withdrew it all. And then, at Nagoya Station or something, they spotted someone who looked a lot like Satoshi. He withdrew all his savings to fund his escape from home. Was that it? Seemed consistent enough for me. But before I could say anything... I think that's a lie. Satoshi-kun didn't run away. Hold on. I declared Rena shortly.
I think that's a lie. Satoshi-kun didn't run away.
Hey, wait. So if he didn't transfer schools, or move away, and he didn't run away from home, then what on earth... Stop it, Rena, Mion whispered to her. Rena, however, continued without interruption, and then she said this.
Because it was Yashio-sama's curse.
Huh? A curse? Took time before I understood what Rena meant by that. Mion clicked her tongue and shook her head a little.
Satoshi talked to me before the day he disappeared. He said someone was watching him, stalking him. He even followed him home. He told me that he went to bed. They were standing there at his bedside looking down at him.
Stop it, Rena. The potent of Yashio-sama's curse, there's no doubt. I think somewhere deep down, Satoshi-kun was probably thinking about abandoning Hinamizawa and running away. Bro, I feel like I'm hearing things. Yeah, it's heckin' here. Yashiro-sama wouldn't allow that. Yeah. Somewhere deep down, Satoshi-kun was probably thinking about it, but yeah, okay. I said stop it.
But Yashiro-sama is the guardian deity of Hinamizawa. He would never allow anyone to abandon Hinamizawa and run away. I apologized for it, but Satoshi-kun probably didn't. It must have been Yashiro-sama's curse.
Yashiro-sama's curse? I hadn't intended to repeat it. The words came out of my mouth anyway. Yashiro-sama's curse.
The police have said he ran away, but I don't believe it. I won't believe it. Not ever. It's just a lie told by self-important people in the village who didn't want to admit it was the curse. And whether or not you believe it in Yashiro-sama's curse, it's...
Ram. Mion struck Ren in the head. Not in a joking way either. I told you to give her a rest, didn't I? I tried to be nice, but you're pushing me to my limits. Pushing her to her limits? Actually, there were plenty of displeasure and anger in Mion's face at that moment. For a few moments after being hit, Rena looked astonished. Perhaps the voice of the Higurashi calmed her frantic mind, because of a little while she regained an original calm expression. We arrived at the place we always split up with Mion. No one said a word until we got there. Voices of the Higurashi just tortured our ears with their buzzing. We'd always split up with meal here, living just Rena and me. Hey, Kei-chan. Didn't I promise to lend you some manga? Wanna come over real quick? Huh? Promise that? However, I quickly realized it was a convenient way of saying she wanted to talk to me alone.
Oh, I see. Okay, then Rena will go home.
Maybe she realized it, maybe she didn't. Thankfully, Rena quickly said she'd go home before us. Bye, Rena. See you tomorrow.
Yep. See you tomorrow. Keiji-kun, don't be too much of a bother now. It's already evening.
I'm just gonna borrow some few books. See ya. During the fun day we had, it was a very insipid, lonely parting. Rena definitely knows. She knows a lot of things, almost everything. Hey, don't worry too much about before. For a little while, Mion finally spoke. Quite some time had passed since splitting up with Rena. No, I'm not really. I think it was my fault anyway. We weren't trying to hide anything about Satoshi. It's just one of those things we shouldn't mention, you know? At this point, I understood exactly what she meant by that. Judging by our odd interactions with Rena, I understood so well it hurt that I shouldn't ever talk about it again. Actually, if that's the case, then with Shion too. No, this is a bigger problem. Talking about it in the first place had been indiscreet. Shouldn't have been interested in it at all. That's why I really had to think about it. About why everyone got so irritated. Idiot, stop this, Keiji Maebara. By the time I tried to warn myself, I had accidentally spoken already. I won't ask ever again, so could you tell me honestly? What on earth happened to Satoshi? He ran away, right? Oh, of course. Curiosity killed the cat, right? For a long time, Mion remained silent, but finally unable to endure it any longer, she began to speak timidly. Have you ever heard about Oyashiro-sama's curse? Just a little bit. Got the gist of it. I only overheard someone in class talking about it, though. Oyashiro-sama was the name of the deity protecting Hinamizawa that they worship at the shrine we had the barbecue at today. A few years ago, when they started talking about flooding Hinamizawa as part of the dam project, one of the people who worked at the site died or something. People blamed it on Oyashiro-sama's curse. Oh, getting the exposition for a third time in a row. That's how it was. Satoshi's dead parents? They were proponents of the dam project. Huh? Wasn't everyone in the village against it? Why would they support the project if they lived here? The dam project would flood the entirety of Hinamizawa. I heard the village that got together to fight the terrible project, but it was a little hard to believe there were villagers who were supporting it. Well, there was a lot of stuff going on, but not everyone agreed to stand up to the dam proposal. Satoshi's parents were basically the leaders of those who were all for it. Leaders of the ones for it? Satoko and Satoshi's parents? Yeah. The government had gathered a lot of compensation money in exchange for the construction of the dam. There were plenty of people who agreed with the proposal because they wanted the money. Aside from a few households, Hinamizawa was, in general, not very affluent. And not because they were proud to inherit the land of their ancestors. Wouldn't it be strange if someone wanted enough money to start a new life? But even in that case, they would have had to hesitate to say so, given the situation. It happened to be Satoko and Satoshi's parents who understood that and stood up to be their representative. By that standard, you might say Satoko and Satoshi's parents were very heroic. They volunteered to be hated, all to help those without much money who didn't have a voice. And then, their parents had bad luck. They died in an accident on the day of the festival honoring Oyashiro-sama. So people started thinking maybe it had been Oyashiro-sama's curse. I thought back to what Coach told me today. They went to a nature park on a family outing and fell off a cliff. So people thought even Satoshi's running away from home was because of Oyashiro-sama's curse. Well, yeah, basically. It would have been an evasive reply, but I felt like it was wrong to ask any further, so I didn't press her for any details. I don't think I need to explain this, but for Satoko, her parents' accident and Satoshi running away, all the business about Oyashiro-sama's curse, none of it's a very happy story, you know? Yeah, of course I knew. Could only nod silently. That's why we're not mentioning anything about Satoko's family. Even if someone asks about Satoshi, we just lie and say he transferred schools. You can understand why, right? I wanted to protect Satoko's happiness, her smile. As someone who thought that way once, even for a short time, I really did regret having been imprudent enough to broach the project topic to begin with. Yeah, I get it. Sorry I asked something so careless. When she heard that, Mion smiled, seeming a little relieved. Without understanding, thinking that I should get going, I began to make my way home. I could really stop by Mion's house, but it was already late. I'll stop by again next time I have the chance. Bye then, Mion. Sorry about today. See you tomorrow. Yeah. Goodbye. We waved to each other. Then suddenly remembering something, Mion called out to me. Kei-chan, one more thing. Only around Satoko, could you keep quiet about Satoshi with Rena too? Huh? I think you realized earlier, but for some reason when it comes to Yashiro-sama's curse, she gets extremely serious. Ever since she transferred here. Yeah, judging by how Rena was acting earlier, it was clearly no laughing matter to her. Mion had interrupted the conversation for us, but if Mion hadn't been there, what might have happened? The entirety of the first arc would have happened? Why would Rena be so serious about it? Not only Rena either, but Shion too. But I don't know. Rena is just... Oh, this is a secret, okay? If you tell anyone, we're not friends anymore. Mion emphasized this as her expression clouded even further. I won't tell. What is this about Rena? She says she's been a victim of Yashiro-sama's curses before. Huh? Well, it might sound mean, but I think it might be a bad case of persecution complex or some kind of wrong assumption. But she says so herself, so I believe her. If I poke fun at it, she gets pretty upset. Rena jokes around all the time. She's really scary when she's mad. I get it. Don't talk about it in front of Rena, right? About Satoshi. Yeah. If possible, I think we shouldn't talk about this ever again. For her sake. And for Satoko's. For everyone else's too. But I must say, for your own sake too, Kei-chan. There's silence, Mion made sure I knew that. Yeah. Okay. I got it. Yeah, if we ignore the curse, it might go away. Thanks. Saying that, she waved her hand and began walking away. I watched her go, a little dazed, and started walking by myself. Satoko's older brother, Satoshi. Had he run away from home? Or had he been a victim of the curse and disappeared forever? Whichever the case, none of this was anything I should have asked about. Cooling air forced me into self-reflection. I wanted Satoko to smile, and yet my curiosity defeated me, and I fervorously tried to step into the dark side of things in a joking way. I'm shameful. I wanted today to be exactly like yesterday. I wanted tomorrow to be just as fun as today, too. So why did I go and do something like that? We were having a blast at the baseball game yesterday. Today we had a blast at the big barbecue party, too. It was a lot of fun. But then I went, and I almost nullified all those fun times. I would have been more careful starting tomorrow. I would have put all this unpleasant stuff behind me forever. Like hell, I'm just gonna let my enjoyable life end just because of how careless I was today. But the more I thought about it, the more I thought about that I'd be more careful starting tomorrow. The more I couldn't get rid of this ominous thought that I would put the end to the enjoyable days with what I'd just done. Yeah, you kinda did, didn't you? Didn't you, buddy? Hey, wait. Calm down, Keiichi Maebara. Gears of Destiny are freaking gigantic, aren't they? What happened just now was trivial. Doesn't make any sense to think my life would be totally different starting tomorrow. Oh, Keiichi. But even though I understood it logically, the mist in my heart wasn't going to fade until tomorrow turned out to be as fun as today. I'm acting weird, thinking a little too much about that conversation. Wish tomorrow would come already. Wanted to make me understand how to observe my insignificant doubts really were. The night was long. The night really was long, wasn't it? Higurashi, when they cry. Yeah, if they do just ignore the curse, maybe it really will go away. Oh, receive new tips. The slacking manager the copy of preliminary autopsy, East Round 3. East Round 3? You what? The slacking manager, copy of preliminary autopsy in East Round 3. Yeah, what happened to you Round 1 and 2? I don't know. The slacking manager. Shion-san, why don't you help out a little? Are you asking a girl to carry something heavy? This is why I still haven't found a nice lady at your age, Coach. Well, you see, at times like these, here's what people say. It's none of your business. He was loading the station wagon with heaps of equipment we used for today's barbecue meeting. All the fathers and sons who had helped were starting to get on their way. Alright, so, Shion-san, why'd you come all the way here? If you rode on your bike, I can give you a lift. I did, but I'll be fine riding back. I appreciate your consideration. I was glad you came by today. Things don't quite fit together without the manager here. Am I still the manager? I've been shirking my duties for an entire year. Maybe we should just fire an incompetent manager already. Alright. If you say when you want to quit, then I'll follow you whenever you want. That's not fair. Let me go soon, please. Every time I don't show up at a game, I get an annoying phone call, and I can't stand those. If you're a little more honest with yourself, Shion-chan, you'd be far cuter. Your father is so sad. Where did he go wrong as to deserve such a rebellious daughter? Or perhaps if your father catches you in a big loving embrace, you'll open your eyes? Well then, don't mind if I do. Come here. Coach was fooling around with all his might, but Shion just smiled in the distance without responding. Nothing's changed. You're still a weirdo, Coach, and everyone's still as lively as ever. Even though Satoshi-kun isn't here. Is that what you wanted to say? He'll come home. I'm sure of it. He has someone waiting for him. Say whatever you want. Sure is cruel, isn't he? Going off to who knows where, leaving such a cute girlfriend behind. Good girlfriend? Who? Jeez. Quit laughing already. Coach! Coach bent over and laughed heartedly for a little while. We'll see each other again. Please come and root for us once in a while, okay? If I feel like it, I'll have no desire to be the manager anymore after all. That's fine. If you don't like it, I'll fire you. Not the kind of person who likes forcing people to do things against their will. Grr. Okay, fine. I'm sorry. You win this round. If I feel like it, I'll come root for you. So just for today, just be patient. Oops, that time already? Fast time to return all this. I'm already making them wait for me. Are we leaving for today, then? Meet again at the next game. Yes, if I feel like it. Goodbye, Coach. I think he's dead, but they might fake us out and actually have him come back. Yeah, I feel like that way too. If he was dead, they probably would just say that. They wouldn't say he transferred. I feel like something happened to him. You know? Like he's being kept in Mion's dungeon or something? I don't know. Copy of the preliminary autopsy. The autopsy suggests the victim was killed in the following manner. Not one, entire body bound in restraints. Traces left behind from when the body seemed to have been found indicated usage of a specific restraining table rather than a rope or a common method. Finger joints on either hand appear to have been bound especially tightly. Highly likely that the table was either specifically made or homemade given this information. Okay, so this is definitely taking place in Mion's dungeon. Yeah, autopsy of who, though? They didn't say. Maybe this is Satoshi's autopsy? I don't know. 2. Both ears and nose were severed with a sharp blade. Traces of restraint and other things seem to suggest there were at least one more other than the one who has severed these body parts holding down the victim's head. It's possible that multiple blades were used, with one of them most likely being scissors or shears. 3. 5 nails penetrated fingers on each hand. 1 long nail struck each joint of the finger on each hand for a total of 30. The deceased fingers were nailed to wooden planks 20 square centimeters large. Extremely likely that these planks were a part of a restraining table. In addition, it is likely that this table was originally designed for such a purpose. 4. Abdomen incised, intestines removed. The incision of the abdomen is likely to have been used a technique grounded by medical methodology using a sharp blade. Estimated that there was still no threat to the victim's life at this stage. Really? Wow. After this, the organs inside the victim were dismantled and removed. The victim likely died as a result of this process. 5. Body disposed. After fastening a dumbbell to the victim's neck using a commercial pet collar, the victim was likely abandoned at the Oji River's third drain. Judging by the dumbbell's weight, it's highly possible that they would have needed at least three grown men to have disposed of the body. To Oishi-san. Here's a copy of the preliminary autopsy of the slaughtered corpse in the Oji River. Chief Shigeharu sees this as possible relation to the S group. What are your thoughts, Oishi-san? Aww, Oishi-san's gonna come back next time. Huh? So, there was a body found in the Oji River. That had to have been Mion or Shion. Because they're the only ones that have that table. You know? The freaking murder table. East Part 3? Or something like that? There it is, run. 3 Chun, 3 Dora Mangan with 1500 extra. What? Yeah, me too, what? What's up with that? How'd you have 3 Dora? You idiot. You're the one who flipped over another Kandora when you threw Oishi was at Tenpai. Oh, yeah, it's Mahjong. That's Mahjong. That's what you get. Getting more Dora was the only thing I could do after revealing in the Chun. Can't discard a Dora tile after the Yaku Hai is out. Oishi grinned meaningfully at his buddy's swearing, began breaking down the walls and reforming them. By the way, Oishi-san, figure it out yet? What? Oh, the murdered body in the drainage channel. Any news come up? Yes, well, you're the one collecting the evidence here. I should have expected that. Who was the deceased? Rina Mamiya. Rina Mamiya? The actual name, Noriko. Apparently, she worked for the Blue Mermaid, a hostess bar on Shishibone Flower Road. Oh wow, that place, huh? A young leader of the Sonozaki owns it, right? Sonozaki, whoops, so it's related to the S group. The S group. So that mountain would be tough to scale. Rumors say the deceased had her hands in both drug dealing and money to be paid to the government. And on a pretty significant scale too, from what I've heard. Women getting her hands on the Yakuza tax money. Sounds like a man's behind it. A lot of women do that sort of thing themselves. Well, she's dead now. Dead can't have anything to do with it. About that, Oishi-san. Her man's apparently alive. Alive? Maybe he'll die soon. Vermin usually exterminate other vermin. I think we have a very nice self-cleansing system going on. Anyway, her man? It's likely Teppei Hojo. Hojo? Who's that? Teppei Hojo, the husband of the housewife who was beaten to death last year in Himizawa. I heard he disappeared after the incident too. I get it, he was staying at a lover's place, huh? So the Sonozakis grow ever more suspicious. Where is he now? He was living in a woman's apartment. Must have thought she abandoned him, so he's been searching around other shops and gathering places. Suspicious, huh? Very curious. But that'll be all we do today. My throat is so parched. Oh no. Did I break it? Oh no. No. No, 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 no. I broke it. Oh well, I'll go back and save it. I'll have to flick through it all over again, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. But thank you guys for being here and vibing with me while I read Higurashi. I'll see you guys next time, okay? Have a good day, have a good night wherever you are. And I'll see you next time. Woohoo! Bye-bye. Bye-bye.